Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be answering most commonly asked questions by dancers. So let's get into it. Okay, first I'm grabbing from the famous point shoe bag. Beautiful. How to remember long choreography. Okay, so for this one, whenever you're in a dance that has a long choreography, it's not just about that specific dance. It's about the more choreographies you do, the more you naturally will be able to remember it better. So that one is it takes time to actually remember all these things. And also I'd say just a ton of repetition, just practice over and over. Slow it down step by step. Don't listen to the music sometimes or turn off the lights sometimes. Like switch it up every time so that you can put that in your mind and it can stay in there and not just stay for a short while. So that's how I do it. Moving on. What if I mess up? Doesn't matter. Does not matter. You keep going and you do it with confidence. Story time with Pillar. I was at a dance competition and I was in a duo and I completely messed up so bad and I owned it. I acted with so much confidence and I did the complete wrong moves and we were doing two separate things. But because I was so confident, it didn't mess up our score and we actually had a really good rating that time. So honestly, it's not about if you do mess up or if you don't. If you do mess up, you gotta keep going, you gotta focus, and you just gotta keep smiling, be expressive, and pretend like nothing happened. If they don't know you did something wrong, then they won't know. So it's fine. How many hours should dancers train? Good question. So it really depends if you're recreational, competitive, professional. So if you're going professional, definitely as much as your studio can offer so that you can definitely get ahead. But it's also really important to take rest days. So if your body is telling you to take a minute, then take a break. It's better than to have a longer bad outcome in your dance career. So it's definitely important that if you're going the professional route that you are training as much as your body can, but not going over the top, because that can definitely affect how you dance and your dance performance, and it's super important not to get exhausted like that. For recreational, 1 to 4 hours a week would make sense. If you're just doing it for fun, it's nothing to stress over, but honestly there's not really a limit, so you can do how much or how little you really need. Competitive probably depends on how many numbers you have once again, but I would suggest about 10 to 15 hours a week. How do I not get nervous on stage? Okay, so this one again it's a lot about the timing, right? So whenever I started competing at 8 years old, and whenever I started, I was so nervous, my heart was pounding, butterflies in the stomach, all that jazz, right? But it gets better. But over time, a better stage presence will come with it. So it's completely okay to feel nervous, it's normal, but honestly, it gets much better. And also another thing is it doesn't always leave. So don't just think that 10 years down the road you'll be set for life and you'll never be nervous. There definitely are some performances I'm still nervous about depending on what they are, but that never goes away. But some tricks that you can do: just breathe, think about your dance. I would suggest not going full out. So what I do is when I'm competing, an hour before I go on, I go full out, do it one time, and then the rest of the time I'm just thinking in my mind, meditating on the dance, so that I don't have a huge amount of adrenaline when I'm getting onto the stage, because too much adrenaline is going to completely affect your dance. So stay calm, breathe, focus, and I would suggest that if you're starting as a competitive dancer, don't look at your competitors, because that can stress you out even more, because you're looking at them, you're like, oh, am I good enough? Don't look at them, don't focus on them, pay attention to yourself, breathe, and just be prepared until it's your time to go. How do I improve my pirouettes? Great question. So as someone who's gone from the worst to the best in pirouettes, I would suggest to just practice the same positions over and over. So your prepping position into your actual position when you're going up into your pirouette. Also practicing repetitions of going up and down in releve. It's going to help build strength in your calf and help with your balance. Also for alignment, you want to keep your body straight, you want to keep your back straight, your core engaged, and really activate your leg muscles so that when you are performing your spin, your whole body is working together and doing the same motion instead of being all over the place because you have poor alignment. So really focus on having a straight, proper composition. Once you do that, your pirouettes will get much better. But again, a lot of dance things take time to build, so don't expect to get better in like 20 minutes. Like, it takes time, but just keep going and keep working on it consistently. It's like a daily thing. You don't just do it like once a month. You do it as much as you can, just focusing on the technical parts of it before you actually execute the full movement. Once you have all those technical pieces put together, your prep, your movement, and your landing, then you're ready to put it together. I suggest you just practice those in repetition. The more repetition you do, the better outcome your pirouettes will be. How do you handle criticism? Very good one, okay? So criticism, many dancers take it negatively. Like, oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, they think I can't do this. That is not what criticism is, okay? That is a stigma that is around the dance community, but it's just not true, okay? Criticism is so important for a dancer's performance and getting better, because criticism is what can determine you from being good or bad. When you're competing, if you've competed before, you get a video back from each competition you go to, and the judges will be speaking in a mic saying, oh, do this, do this, do this. That criticism isn't saying you're awful, you suck, you can't compete, this is just not good. That's not the point of those. So that criticism is so important, because when you take that advice and you apply it to your dance will improve. And by your first competition, maybe you didn't even place, but by your 5th competition, you place first. You'll see the outcome of it by following criticism. So never take criticism as something bad. In fact, I love when people give me criticism, because it means that they intentionally want me to get better and improve, and they're noticing my dancing. So maybe I am not doing great with my pirouettes, for example. If someone is telling me, oh, you're doing this wrong, this is how you do it, then that will encourage me to improve my pirouettes, and the outcome of that will be even better than before. So, number 1 rule, take your criticism, okay? I can't pick one. How do dancers avoid injuries? Dancers and injuries, they come hand in hand. So, the most important thing to do, number 1, stretch before you dance. None of your body is actually ready to perform at the level you want to perform, so stretching is so important. I would also say, if there's a trick you really want to do, but it's much more risky and higher in chances of getting an injury, make sure you have a spotter or a teacher and you're not doing it alone, because doing it alone can really affect and can hurt your body for the worse. So I would suggest having someone, even if you just have a friend watching, to make sure you're doing it right and that your technical is good. What styles should a beginner start with? Okay, so if you're just starting, also depends on the age. So if you are an older student and you're trying to get better and you only just started, I would suggest getting into what you can and really trying to improve on every single aspect, so that you can kind of build yourself back up to where everyone else is level-wise. But if you are just starting out as a kid, or you're planning on enrolling your child into a dance studio, I would suggest starting your kid off with ballet, because it's the fundamentals of most dances. I'd say pretty much every dance can benefit from ballet, just the technicality of it and the precision, so that can really affect. So ballet is super important to go in at a young age. And then also, if your child becomes interested in ballet, most ballerinas start quite young, so it's important that they have also started quite young, that they can build themselves up from those fundamental teachings from early on. Pick a dance style that they love, that they're passionate about, because dance is really creative and it's really about what makes you excited, and it's really about what you're passionate about. So definitely go into something. I personally would have gone jazz, but it's really up to your student and what they would prefer. So go for whatever you're excited for, but definitely ballet is a good start. How do I improve my flexibility safely? I would suggest improving your flexibility, a lot of stretching. Just try to go a little bit deeper every time. Of course, listen to your body. You don't want to push anything. You don't want to pull anything either, so definitely make sure that you're doing it safely. But I would suggest using bands to help bring your legs higher if you're working on extensions. If it's about back flexibility, I would start by trying to master your bridge, but also doing things like stretching a little bit further every time, getting closer to the floor. It really is about repetition and consistency. So you are consistently stretching these areas every day, then you will definitely notice progression, but you won't get anywhere if you're just trying to go from point A to point D, right? So you really need to work on it consecutively throughout the year, and you definitely will see progression. How do I improv better? To improve your improv, what I would do is just listen to the music, so the lyrics or the beat. So me, I personally follow the lyrics mainly, so what they mean, and putting emotion behind each movement I do. So if it's a sad song, I'm definitely doing really long movements and I am really expressive with my face, and that kind of guides me through the dance so that I can have a very straightforward story throughout my dance, and I do that by following the song. But then many dancers do it to the beat, so making your movements sharp or smooth depending on how fast or slow the song is can also really make your improv much better. Honestly, other than that, for improv, just keep practicing, keep doing it over and over. Record yourself and see how you can improve, how you cannot improve, moves that you do like and moves you don't like. So you can have like signature combos, which basically means that they're movements you know what to do in case you don't have anything in mind, so that your improv can keep going smoothly even when you're a little lost. So that's definitely important, but honestly, just keep practicing and you'll get there. And that's the end of today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, leave a comment below.